All right, so same principle. All right, I'm gonna cut my knee again to the side. Okay, I'm gonna make same grips. Okay, the leg, the collar, step over. Okay, and start cut my right knee. The same time, I'm gonna close my right elbow over here. All right, and then pass my left hand under his arm, control his sleeve over here, bring the arm to me. All right, switch again. All right, make sure, guys, you put inside your wrist around his neck. Okay, over here, bring his arm down. All right, lean forward first. Okay, clear the knee. All right, the guys sometimes put the knee very high. Okay, make sure, all right, if you don't lean forward, all right, you are not able to put your knees together. All right, so make sure lean forward, and then you put your legs together, and then you take them out over here. All right, so now after you take them out over here, all right, so your transition of the grips is, guys, my right hand was here on the collar. Okay, I'm gonna, all right, slide very tight. I'll keep my elbow tight over here on top of the shoulder. All right, and then I'm gonna control his sleeve, his wrist over here, pass my left hand under his elbow and control my wrist and lock the Americana. Okay, after I lock over here, I try now they bring his wrist, okay, very close like this. You see? All right, I can't let his arms, straight. Okay, this way is, it's very easy the guy escape the Americana. Right, make sure when you control his wrist, you need to close, all right, the space. All right, so after that, I'm gonna lift his elbow and apply the Americana. All right, so one more time, same grips, control the pants, the collar. I'm gonna push his leg all the way down, step over, cut my knee and close my right elbow like this. After that, when I get this position, and then I let go the pants and control his sleeve over here, and bring his arm to me, and then I switch the grip on the collar. Okay, so after that, I'm gonna push his arm all the way down. Okay, so lean forward a little bit, connect your knees together, and then you take them out again. So don't forget, when you take them out, you need to use your right arm and force the guy look to the same side. Okay, you put your right knee. All right, so I'm here again, push his arm all the way down, lean forward, put my knees together. Now when you take them out, you force the guy look to the other way. All right, this is the most important detail. And then now after that, I'm gonna let go the collar, slide my arm, trap his neck over here, and control his wrist over here. All right, make sure when you control the wrist, don't grab the sleeve. Okay, you need to control the wrist. All right, then now pass your left hand under his elbow, control your wrist right now. Okay, and then when you lock the Americana, and then you close the space, and then you lift his elbow, and then you finish.
Okay, so now we're going to look at another very important concept in passing tight, and that's just using our shoulder and filling space, but doing so with a super high degree of precision. So instead of looking from the pass, we're going to look at shoulder pressure, just experiment this with the side control. So our arm that's controlling the head is going to reach deep. First digit of the middle finger finds the corner of the armpit, and our other hand is going to be here to monitor turn. Okay, so it can be on this side of the body typically, okay, but it could also, if it had to, come back to our side here. Now, we want to take all our weight off the floor and put it on our opponent, so our knees come off the mat, and we're going to lean, aligning our body, driving our shoulder into his body, but we're going to clock towards the head. So the angle of our shoulder is driving down into his sternum. And the reason is because when we come back, we're going to steer our shoulder back in to better fill this space. Again, we want absolutely the most precision possible here. So we're going to back our shoulder off, okay, knees off the floor, driving our shoulder down, and now we're going to walk back, driving our shoulder to meet our hand. There. Okay. So in an isolated kind of environment, like when we're training, this will definitely be a submission. It's super easy to put your opponent or your partner to sleep here, so be careful. And one more time. We're going to reach. We're not concerned with the shoulder pressure. We're not concerned about smashing his face. Okay? What's going to make our opponent uncomfortable is the fact that they're starting to go to sleep here. Right? So it's not like we're not just trying to smash his face. So we want to be super precise, uber precise. We're turning his body so he can't twist away to release the pressure on his neck. Okay? We clock our body north, driving our shoulder back down, and now we're going to walk back, driving our shoulder up through his neck. Okay? So this could be potentially a submission. It also ends up being a very nice way to mount, because one of the reactions that our opponent will give us to release pressure on the shoulder is to lift their hips. So to release this pressure so he doesn't go to sleep, he lifts his hips. Anytime the hips are high like that, we always have an opportunity to mount, because he's not going to bridge higher, and all that space around his hip behind his thigh is open for our feet to establish control. Okay? So, one last time. This hand is monitoring twist to keep the pressure on his neck. And again, I'm not just driving through the neck, driving into the jaw. We're going to clock our body towards the head, knees off the floor, projecting our weight in our shoulder, and now clock back, driving our weight through. If his hips come up, we mount. If we find that if you found a home for your shoulder, keep the weight on him until he taps.
Alright guys, so now that we got the X guard, let's start to work sweep from there. I think the easiest way to sweep from the X guard, it's also the easiest, but I think it's also maybe the strongest, is just to stand up with the leg. And you can use this movement a lot depending on where the guy's weight is, but let's work to get from the X guard. So I have the X guard here. I'm looking to control the knee like we spoke about, and I'm keeping his leg on top of my shoulder. So this shoulder is going to be the key to this move, because as I go for the stand-up, I'm going to need to bring my shoulder towards this leg, towards this knee. That's what's going to give me the leverage to sweep my opponent over here. My hooks are going to give me the leverage to take the weight off me and to stand up. So right now, I need to make sure that my hooks are kind of like coiled. So if my hooks are too stretched over here, it's going to be really hard for me to sit up. And at the same time, if my hooks are too bent over here, there's going to be too much weight of Aldi on top of me to stand up. So I want to find like a nice middle range over here, okay? And once I find this middle range, I'm gonna look to kind of explode and like kick him away. As I kick him away, I'm gonna sit up at the same time as I kick, so I get the momentum of my legs behind my sit up. So I have my connection here. I'd like to even make a grip on the pants. I'm gonna kick and I'm gonna sit up. Once I sit up over here, I'm gonna look to put this top foot right on top of his thigh. And now if I need to, my hand can come on the mat and I'm gonna come and get up to my knee. Notice when I got up to my knee, my shoulder was still deep in on his knee over here. I can't be too far back. It's gonna give him a chance to escape. So I wanna be as deep as I can on this knee. And now, since my shoulder's underneath his knee, all I'm going to look to do is stand straight up. Should be enough height and leverage to take his foot out of the ground. Just like that. Once his foot comes out of the ground, guys, just don't go into the triangle. I like to come and grab his pants and establish the top position right here, right? So I'm here in this position. Guys, I'm going to look, stretch him out. As I stretch him out, I put this foot here. So this is something that I just started doing, because a lot of times you go and you stretch your partner out and then he forces back into you. Yeah, exactly. And you get in this habit of sitting up, sitting up, sitting up, and you don't get the proper leverage to get your base underneath yourself. So using that foot as a post is going to keep his weight over there. So I go and I stretch and I switch. With this over here, Ali, can you try to come back? So I have my hand on the ground and this foot's stretching. Now I'm going to come, stand up to my knee, and stay tall. Come back down, that's it. Guys, when I get here, I can't also let my head drop. If my head drops, exactly, he's going to free his leg. So I'm keeping I'm almost like on the telephone over here, staying really tight, and I'm going to come straight up, taking him down, making sure I don't go in the triangle.
When you start attacking the baseball grip on the lapel, you're here, 2-on-1, you might bring yourself up, or you break him down and bring him to you, okay? Right here. When we do this, sometimes people try to block your bicep, try to push on your hand, try to create space any way they can, because they're already feeling the choke threat on the neck. It's a lot of pressure on the neck right here. So we can be aware of that, and the second they go to grab my arm, I can go all the way across, grab the tricep, bring it over, slip a little bit, and now my chest is on his tricep. My chest is on his tricep, and I'm gonna again get the 2-on-1 and pull with both hands. I'm right here. We have the 2-on-1. Guys, I'll take this moment to show you. Look at what my partner is doing right here. He's posting his hands on the floor to try to create space, because there's nothing on my body where he can push. I'm so close to him. Push on the floor again. He's pushing on the floor. If he pushes on the floor, we can immediately go into other attacks that we've seen. So I just want to mention that to show you guys that these attacks, like I said, are going to open many situations for you. Okay? So let's not deviate from the subject. I'm here. I have the 2-on-1, and I keep grinding into the neck right here. Pull down, elbow into my hip, close to his chest, right here. Okay? He's gonna try to create space somehow. When he's doing this, I go over to the tricep, bring it over, slip out, hand goes back to the choke, and pull. Give me over too, right here. Boom. Okay?
So continuing with the idea of trying to bundle our opponent's legs together. This option, we're now going to start to lose our opponent either from the initial bundle. Here I couldn't quite get the legs, or maybe I got the legs and our opponent starts to try to yank out forward. So we're essentially just trying to switch for a bundle where we have the legs, and instead we're going to try to bundle with the arms. So I'm replacing my legs with the clinch of my arms just over my opponent's knee line. You could use whatever grip you feel most comfortable with. I prefer kind of a gable grip here. And now I'm going to release my legs, and I want to keep my feet on the floor, turn myself over. Okay. It's very hard for him to defend when it says legs are bundled. Okay. So one more time, we're able to get to our underhook position. I bounce, I bundle, and I feel like things are falling apart. And we clinch with the arms instead. Now I need to release my feet so I'm not up, and toes on the floor. I'm gonna start driving. So can we go back? Even if Mark starts to defend with his arms, or even post Mark's like driving over, we're gonna come up and drag his legs out from underneath him.